Thanks for joining us. Meteorologist Nicole Karkic with you. These are developing stories we're following, tracking multiple storms which will move in for you in Atlantic Canada. We'll tell you when to expect the big ones. Extreme cold is setting in for some, not all across the country, and what nearly 80 centimeters of snow looks like, what some of our viewers have been experiencing this week. So we take you to this. You need the big artillery to get through that. If you were shoveling 80 centimeters of snow, you got your workout for the entire month. As we look at our totals here from 6 a.m. local time, Wabush, 78 centimeters of snow, gusts up to 65 kilometers an hour. Happy Valley, Goose Bay, 44 centimeters, strong gusts as well. And Makovich, gusts up to 78 kilometers an hour. There's an asterisk because this was just our day recording for your winds. Overnight, likely those were even stronger. So our average versus our totals for the month of January so far, we're looking at Gander with an average of 96 centimeters. We've seen so far 46. But we're all thinking here at the Weather Network that that number is going to surpass the average for us because we've got huge systems coming through, not only tomorrow, but into the weekend and next week as well. So for this morning, we've got some sea effect coming off of the Gulf of the St. Lawrence for you in Corner Brook, Stephenville as well. For the Maritime provinces, pretty quiet, cold start to the day, feeling like the minus 20s in parts of New Brunswick. But then here's our next system to look out for. It comes through Thursday afternoon for parts of Nova Scotia, and then it's going to hit places like Gander pretty hard into Friday with up to 20 centimeters of snow potentially. So our Wednesday into Friday track gives us areas like St. John's being hit as well with some snow, but we could see some mixing as well. So really messy to end off the week and the weekend as well too. Now this morning in the east, Sherbrooke is minus 20, Montreal is minus 21, and that's without the wind chill. But no, quite a bit of sunshine except for places like the Gaspé Peninsula, and in Ontario an extreme cold warning in place includes Owen Sound. We're still looking at the potential for some strong winds in Labrador today, but the good news is it's all easing. It's just cleanup mode for you this afternoon. Tuesday across the country, Calgary got up to 3 degrees. Look at that mild air in the west. Different story moving east. Toronto minus 7, but yeah, not too bad on Tuesday in Halifax at 2 degrees. Much colder for you this morning. Look at that, minus 11 in Halifax, minus 20 in Ottawa, and towards the west, still doing pretty good for this time of year. They had to shovel the snow on top of the car because they couldn't even see it. As we look at how much snow has fallen, Wabush, pretty impressive. That's 78 centimeters as of 6 a.m. local time, so likely it's closer to over 80 centimeters when all is said and done. Happy Valley, Goose Bay, gusts up to 54 kilometers an hour. And for this morning, temperatures, Corner Brook will be minus 7, Halifax minus 11, as I mentioned, Fredericton minus 16, but that's without the wind chill. So overall, the Maritimes will be nice and sunny today. Same trend towards Quebec City minus 18 this morning, Montreal minus 21, and the next system to watch for doesn't come through today. In fact, today nice and easy for travel. Western shores of Newfoundland could see is seeing some sea effect snow, but then for Thursday, here's what we're looking for. Snow moving into Nova Scotia, which will be under 5 centimeters, but it could hit places like Gander on Friday with up to 20 centimeters of snow. Let's take you to this live shot of the city of Ottawa for the afternoon. Ottawa, you know what, you're going to be below average by about 5 degrees. And for the morning, it is a chilly start. There is a frostbite advisory in place for you, so that means temperatures are...
Just keep busy with your friends and...
All right. Now for this afternoon, we're looking at Ottawa at minus 11. Hamilton will be minus 3, feeling closer to minus 8. And moving to Atlantic Canada, on the horizon, a system for Thursday and for Friday. Here's how to shake the winter blues.
7 degrees, some fog patches, and then rain's going to start probably overnight.
Right.
It could be there for the next few days.
So you can fit in the golf game today. Just do it before it's too late.
Already.
Looking November 1st to January 19th, the snowfall we have seen and your departure from average. So Halifax stands out. Your departure from average is 52 centimeters. That's because you've seen more rain than anything.
Yeah.
But places like Calgary up 19 centimeters, and we still, of course, have a lot of winter to go.
A lot of winter to go in Toronto. 46 centimeters, although very little evidence on the ground. Okay, now I want to show you a map here. Our current system. Now there's a lot going on. We got a warm front going across the west. A Clipper moving towards southwestern Ontario. There's the blizzard. But you know what's getting me excited, Nicole, is this system right here. This little thing here. It looks like a leaf. We call that a bear clinic leaf. That's the seeds of a developing storm. This could be a large one, and it could be the first of 3 for Atlantic Canada within the next week.
Right, so we'll give you the details
All right.
on when you have to be ready for the worst. In Ontario, just a little system moving through towards the southwest. It's just headed more stateside. Winds are 3 to 5 centimeters, and easterly winds setting up, giving Toronto towards Hamilton a light dusting beginning this afternoon. So the commute may be a little slow.
Niagara region as well, so we'll keep an eye on that. Now, going forward towards the prairies, we do have a low pressure system, and the territories. It's really a northerly track, so most of the snow is to the north, but watch out anywhere from the BC Peace, Grand Prairie, mainly north of Edmonton, for the risk of some passing freezing rain today. Could begin this morning in the west, and by the evening in Saskatchewan, light snow.
Exactly, and here's what Chris was talking about, the system's track. Now, this is Wednesday into Friday. Notice it's going to graze past Nova Scotia, but hit places like St. John's over towards Gander pretty hard.
After all the rain, very, very miserable conditions, and it does look like into the next week, storm track could become very active in Atlantic Canada.
That's right, stay with us. Thanks for joining us. Meteorologist Nicole Karkic with you. For across the country, we are tracking multiple storms. We'll tell you who's getting hit the hardest this week. Extreme cold setting in for some, but for you in the west, wow, it's going to be a warm weekend with Calgary getting up to 13 degrees on Saturday. And what nearly 80 centimeters of snow looks like. Can you imagine that? If you've only seen a little bit this year, wait for the images. It's pretty amazing. We've got Kelly Norsworthy joining us right now with more details on the extreme cold. Thanks, Kelly. And there are extreme cold warnings in place for Kincardine, Owen Sound, over towards Hanover, feeling like minus 35 as you step out the door. As we look at conditions in northern Ontario, we are dealing with Thunder Bay at minus 8, which is actually above average. Your afternoon high will be above average as well. Sault Ste. Marie, minus 23, but a rapid warm up into the afternoon. And this morning in Toronto, it's minus 9, feeling closer to minus 16. Ottawa, though, stands out, minus 20 for you without the wind chill. Now, there is snow on the horizon coming through this afternoon. So the morning, easy to travel weather-wise, but then by afternoon, winds are picking up 3 to 5 centimeters. That's with a system. And then a separate thing is setting up. We've got those easterly winds coming off of Lake Ontario, bringing Toronto over towards Hamilton, the Niagara region, maybe up to 3 centimeters of snow. So it could just impact your commute. So as you can see, it has been a winter wonderland. Now, how much exactly did each area get? This is about 6 a.m. local time. Wabush, 78 centimeters of snow. Happy Valley Goose Bay, 44 centimeters. The snow has wound down. The winds, not so much. Around Hopedale, you could still be seeing some blizzard-like conditions, but that will ease into the afternoon. Our average snowfall versus what we have seen so far. So Gander, your average is 96 centimeters. We've only seen about 46, but there's more to come, especially into tomorrow and for the weekend. Now, for today, western shores of Newfoundland, some sea effect flurries, just the setup off of the Gulf of the St. Lawrence. The Maritimes will be nice and sunny, but cold for today, below average. And then a new system rides up, bringing places like Halifax 5 centimeters of snow tomorrow, and then it's going to hit Newfoundland pretty hard, with Gander maybe seeing up to 20 centimeters of snow. St. John's, you're in the mix as well for snow. It's now time to share your weather. So how does that work? If you're on social media, use the hashtag #ShareYourWeather. Send me a weather picture, and then you will get a personalized forecast. So who's up today? We've got in Happy Valley Goose Bay, Alex sent this picture to our website, actually. It was just so impressive. These are cars completely covered in snow. 80 centimeters in some places like Wabush over the last couple of days. But for the afternoon, Happy Valley Goose Bay, winds a lot lighter, minus 15. Cleanup mode is in play there. You've got to shovel all that snow. And for the next couple of days, Happy Valley Goose Bay, not seeing any big snow, but for Saturday, you'll see about a centimeter, and then Sunday, another big storm will hit you. So get everything cleaned up before then. How can you send your weather pictures to me? Well, my Twitter account is @Nicole Karkic. Just don't forget to use the hashtag #ShareYourWeather. Let's head next to this shot right here. The city of Halifax, mild yesterday, but for today you're going to be minus 6, which is below average. Usually you're closer to minus 1 for this time of year. A pretty shot on our website. Look at this, the snow-covered trees. I always love when it makes a canopy, especially when you're driving down the streets. This one in particular is in Owen Sound. And up next, people in North Bay having fun. How about this? City of Winnipeg from last week. Today will be minus 12 in the city of Winnipeg. And if you live there, you might want to get some peg ears. Here's more on that. Yeah. Thanks, Kelly. So as we look across the country today, we've got milder air really pushing in this week across the prairie. So by the end of the week, places like Calgary, for example, on Saturday, getting up to 13 degrees. But we have a developing storm system to talk about for you in the east. So after seeing a lot of snow in places like Labrador, you maybe don't want to get any more. 80 centimeters in some cases for Labrador. So this is as of 6 a.m. local time. Wabash, clear winter here, winter being the most snow, so it's all about how you're looking at it. 78 centimeters of snow. Happy Valley Goose Bay, 44 centimeters for you. And this morning, temperatures are below average. That trend will continue right into the afternoon. So Halifax minus 11, Fredericton minus 16. St. John's, though, at 2 degrees. You are going to cool down as we head into the afternoon, though. This morning, Montreal minus 21, Pembroke minus 23. It is really quite sunny and dry in through Quebec, and sunshine will continue for the Maritimes this afternoon. Western shores of Newfoundland, just some sea effect flurries. And then as we head into Thursday, there is a little system coming through for Nova Scotia. It's going to hit Newfoundland a little bit harder for your Friday. Let's take you to a live shot right now. And this light winds out of the northwest, sustained at about 7 kilometers an hour. This afternoon in Ottawa, you'll be minus 11. That's about 4 to 5 degrees below your average. Toronto at minus 3, which is closer to average. So southern Ontario not doing too bad temperature-wise for this time of year. But today there is some snow moving in. It's a system stateside that's really getting close to southwestern Ontario. So late morning, I think that snow will start around Windsor towards London, 3 to 5 centimeters. And then easterly winds setting up, giving Toronto over towards the Niagara region a light dusting of snow. And that will be setting up this afternoon with those raw easterly winds. This afternoon in the north, Thunder Bay, minus 5. So warmer in Thunder Bay than the city of Ottawa for this afternoon. And for the morning, there is an extreme cold warning in place for Owen Sound over towards Kincardine, so it feels closer to about minus 35 with the wind chill. And on the horizon, one system on Thursday, another one coming through for the weekend in Atlantic Canada.
Nearly 3 feet of snow and high pressures building in, thankfully.
Yes.
Still some blizzard conditions for coastal areas. That will be winding down. But my goodness. Nicole, I'm going to let you take a look at totals in a second, but we've got very cold high pressure. It's frigid out there in many parts of southern and eastern Ontario, Quebec, and the Maritimes. We've got a little clipper that's going to scoot across the southwest. But what my eye is geared to is this developing storm system right here off Cape Hatteras. And this is a breeding ground for storms for ultimately Atlantic Canada. 1, 2, and 3 of them coming within about a week or so.
I know. Wow. So you have to get ready for some big weather in Atlantic Canada. You've already seen big weather in Labrador, though. Wabash, 78 centimeters of snow with gusts up to 65 kilometers an hour, Chris.
Yeah, Makovic, about 40 centimeters of snow. The asterisk is because they do the winds during the day and then the station goes offline. But Hopedale had 115 kilometer an hour gusts, so I think the winds were stronger than that. Okay, so this is the next track, and look just right over the Avalon, Nicole.
Exactly. So we could see places like Gander getting up to 20 centimeters of snow. This is Thursday into your Friday. And then the same track as we head into the weekend. So we've got this jet stream that's just helping to ride these storms. And for the weekend, it could be even worse with power outages, lots of snow, and then another storm next week, as Chris mentioned.
Yeah, and some areas also could see more rain or rain-snow mix. So it's going to be one to watch for the next few days. So we may see some of the snow totals in the east get bumped up a little bit. Toronto largely going to miss the bulk of these incoming storms. You've got a clipper moving to southern Ontario. We'll get to that in a moment. But
dessert, don't you?
I like a dessert one. The ice wine's a little sweet for me.
Okay,
I do like a good Riesling though. The cold east-northeast winds. So the west side of the Lake Ontario down towards Niagara. Some flurries today, and then a clipper will scoot across, bring a little more snow southwestern Ontario.
Looking forward to that, Kelly, as I suffer from SAD. I do have a light therapy lamp that I'm using every morning and taking my vitamin D, although sometimes I miss it, and it makes a difference. Today across the country, we've got mild air moving into the prairie provinces, but a developing system for Atlantic Canada. And if you live in Labrador, you're probably thinking, we don't need any more snow. Winds much calmer for today, but for Labrador City and Wabash, schools are closed for the morning. Happy Valley Goose Bay, schools closed all day. Cleanup mode definitely in in play. And a look at the totals you have seen. Happy Valley Goose Bay, 44 centimeters of snow for you. And our average so far compared to what we have seen, Gander, you're below average at this point, but there is a system on the horizon. So we're surely going to probably get to that average, if not surpass it by the end of the month. This afternoon, Sydney -6, Halifax is -6, below your average of -1 for this time of year. But lots of sunshine that spreads right across into Quebec. Montreal this afternoon -12 for you with a mix of sun and cloud. And the system to watch in the east is coming through on Thursday. Now this morning, western shores of Newfoundland seeing that sea effect off the Gulf of the St. Lawrence. And then through tomorrow, we'll notice this system moving up towards Nova Scotia. It'll bring places like Halifax about 5 centimeters of snow, but a lot more snow moving into central Newfoundland as well as St. John. So that will be Thursday into your Friday, and then another system on the weekend. So that will be more impactful. Just because the winds are fairly light at this point. They're sustained at about 7 kilometers an hour. For your afternoon, just getting up to -11. Winterlude, though, in Ottawa starts January 30th. Lots of fun, so getting excited and gearing up for that. This afternoon, Toronto -3, which is pretty much bang on seasonal for you. There is some snow moving in, and checking out the radar, it's very close to Amherstburg as well as Essex at this point. So late morning, we'll see that snow move in 3 to 5 centimeters, and then some lake enhancement off of Lake Ontario. Don't always get these strong easterly winds, but we are this afternoon. So Toronto over towards the Niagara region, picking up a trace amount of snow. Country, the extreme cold setting in for some, Chris.
Yes.
And what nearly 80 centimeters of snow looks like. You have to see the video to believe it.
All right, and we will be showing you that. So not dealing with 80 centimeters of snow. Kelly Noseworthy, though, outside in the cold. Love the hat, Kelly. Love the hat.
Aw, thank you so much.
No, it isn't, but we're still tough Canadians during the winter.
Absolutely, and you got to still dress for it. A bit of an east-northeast wind today, so that could put some snow around Hamilton, the west side of Lake Ontario, and a little clipper is going to bring some snow southwestern Ontario. Temperatures range from -3 in Windsor to -11 in Ottawa, and that's core temperatures, excluding any wind chill.
That's right, and look at that snow coming through.
Yeah.
Already on the radar showing that near Amherstburg, Essex, starting to get that snow creeping in for the morning commute. Could even see it starting 3 to 5 centimeters when all is said and done. And here's what Chris was talking about.
That's
Toronto
right.
down towards Hamilton, a light dusting. That will be later in the day.
All right. Now, there is a cold warning alert for Grey and Bruce, Northern Dufferin, Innisfil, Angus. So feeling in the -30s this morning. That will get dropped, but for now, bundling up in, say, Wyerton and Owen Sound.
That's right. And Thunder Bay, -5 this afternoon.
Yes.
Warmer in Thunder Bay than Ottawa, so a little bit more mild in some parts of the north.
That's the story. So the digging out, take it easy. Remember, digging out from a big storm is like running a marathon as well. So the good news, I guess, is that there's no immediate big melt in the forecast. It's going to stay cold, because I think that'd be a worst case scenario. But look at some of the numbers.
Pretty impressive. And we still have a blizzard warning for Hopedale, Postville, gusts up to 110 kilometers an hour. Good news for this should be dropped by the afternoon, so things are easing.
Yes, indeed. So, but still very hazardous travel. Now, we do have some flurries on the west side of Newfoundland as well, sea-effect snow. That could be a few centimeters worth. Just cold across the Maritimes today, below seasonal, very chilly this morning. And then tomorrow, increasing clouds, and it looks like Halifax, the eastern shore towards Sydney, may see 5, possibly 10 centimeters of snow, and then that storm will ramp up as it gets into Newfoundland.
It's going to hit you a lot harder, especially in through central Newfoundland. And you're saying of the day, Chris?
This storm, a PhD in potential.
Right.
Yes, and not just this one, but the one, a larger one looms for the weekend. So let's get to the next map here and show you. So this is the one that we were talking about. Could be a lot of snow in the Gander area, for example. And then another one, a larger windy system. This one may shoot the lights out.
Exactly. Okay. Lights out, heavy amount of snow through parts of the east. And if you're traveling in through Atlantic Canada, we do have some sea-effect flurries for the western shores of Newfoundland. So traveling along Highway 1, a little bit messy at times. Through Labrador, still some blowing snow warnings in place for places like Nain. So do be careful of traveling there. Making our way through the Prairie provinces on the radar, some light snow falling through southern Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Bigger issue might be the fog for the morning commute. And for BC, the north is getting hit with strong winds and rain. The south is staying nice and clear for your roads. Thanks so much, Kelly.
Thank you.
So as we look across the country, who's seeing the coldest air? Well, we have to look to the east for that. Really from Saskatchewan right across to Newfoundland. We're getting a push of warm air, though, moving in this week through the prairie provinces. So by the weekend, places like Calgary and Winnipeg well above average. Toronto, we have seen so far this season 8 cold weather alerts. Last year during the winter, there were 36. This afternoon, Toronto -3, which is actually pretty close to seasonal. Not so much in Ottawa, though. You're -11, which is certainly below your average. And this morning, very cold. There are frostbite advisories in place for Ottawa right until Wednesday. So chilly mornings for you. Today, snow moving into Ontario, already making its way towards Amherstburg as well as Essex. It has dropped about 3 centimeters in Windsor, according to a follower of mine on Twitter, Tony. And we've got some easterly winds setting up. So a separate system in place here, just the different mechanics, which will bring us some lake effect enhancement around Hamilton, the Niagara region, and Toronto. So some whiteout conditions if traveling through there at times this afternoon. Now this afternoon in northern Ontario, -5 in Thunder Bay. Not too bad for this time of year. That's well above your average. And as we make our way towards the east, Halifax -6 this afternoon. Usually you're -1. But yes, we're seeing sunshine, except for places like the Gaspé Peninsula, where we are still seeing some strong winds. A lot of snow in Labrador this morning. Happy Valley Goose Bay has school closures, and Labrador City as well as Wabash, schools are closed for the morning. So check for your school in the east to see if there's any sort of cancellations. This afternoon in Quebec, Montreal -12, but bright, beautiful sunshine. And the tracks in Atlantic Canada are setting up like this. For Thursday into Friday, we're looking at a system just passing through Nova Scotia, hitting Newfoundland especially hard. That will be Thursday into Friday. And then for the weekend, another storm, which could cause power outages with strong winds.
Trans-Labrador Highway, Wabash over towards Churchill Falls, a lot of school closures.
That's right.
So if you're going to shovel, because I think you will be, do take care. The storm says the blizzard itself is moving off. Still some blizzard conditions on the coastal areas. And then we're watching this next one. This is the seeds of the next storm that could clip eastern Nova Scotia,
yes,
and likely hit eastern Newfoundland by Friday.
Right, so the track just grazing past Nova Scotia, but hitting Newfoundland really hard. This is to end off the week, but Chris, the pattern is setting up that right into the weekend, another system slamming into Atlantic Canada, and unfortunately, another one for next week.
Yeah, but saying that the winter pattern has a PhD in potential when it comes to storms across Atlantic Canada, and it will get injected by cold air, so that's what's going to help fuel these storms. Now, in terms of how much snow we've seen, well, in the West Kamloops has had more snow than normal up till January 19th.
Yes.
Same with Calgary and Kenora, but Toronto, Halifax, and St. John's have been below, and certainly noticeable in Toronto and Halifax particularly.
But more snow moving in today.
That's
for
right.
Places like Toronto over towards the Niagara region, just some lake enhancement.
Yep.
So traveling through the area could be whiteout at times this afternoon. And someone tweeted me in Windsor, Tony said they've seen 5 centimeters already. So things are picking up. You should see just a little bit more through the day.
Yeah, including yesterday's total as well. And meanwhile, we do have some snow falling, sunshine, but a high of only -10. But you will be getting warmer. A low pressure system will track across the north. So snow to the north, 5 to 10 centimeters. Warmer air will get punched in further south.
That's right. And we could see some freezing rain this afternoon in northern Alberta, around Grand Prairie, for example, Hinton even. But look at the setup as we head into the next couple of days. When we start to see those yellows popping up, that's mild air really pushing into Alberta and even parts of southern Saskatchewan, Chris.
We're going to have a ridge of high pressure set up right over Idaho with its clockwise circulation, and that means Chinook winds coming on the east side of the Rockies. Okay, Kelly Noseworthy joining us next.
All right, looking forward to that, Kelly. I suffer from SAD. I have a light therapy lamp. I use my vitamin D every day, and I'm looking forward to hearing more on how to help with the seasonal blues. Now, today across the country, it'll be cold in the east right across until we hit BC. Things are warming up in Alberta this week, and that will eventually move into the prairies as we head later on, especially into your weekend. But the snow has been falling this week. Wow, not exerting yourself too much. There are school closures in Happy Valley Goose Bay for today. Labrador City as well as Wabash, schools are closed for the morning, so just check with your school district. We do have just some sea effects setting up on the western shores of Newfoundland around Hopedale. We still have a blizzard warning in effect, so some strong winds there, but that will taper off by the afternoon. In the Maritimes, nice, free and clear, but cold for you. you in the morning right until the afternoon. And then guess what happens next? A new system moves into Atlantic Canada Wednesday to Thursday. It just pushes past Nova Scotia, but it'll hit Newfoundland hard again. St. John's towards Gander this time, and then another system for the weekend. So a lot is going on in the east. Hope you have a great start in the city of Ottawa. Mark it on your calendar. We've got Winterlude on January 30th coming up in the city. The Weather Network will be there. This afternoon, Ottawa -11, Toronto is -3, which is pretty much bang on seasonal. And while the snow has already started in the southwest around Windsor, Essex, Amherstburg, it will continue to shift a little bit further north, even into London, and then some lake enhancement setting up with easterly winds for Hamilton, Toronto, and the Niagara region. Northern Ontario, not a lot of snow, but temperatures of note above average, -5 for the city of Thunder Bay. And towards the Prairie provinces, while Winnipeg is -10, Lethbridge will be +3 this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Nicole and Chris with you. Today we're tracking multiple storms across the country. What nearly 80 centimeters of snow looks like. They have to see it to believe it.
Indeed.
And extreme cold is setting in for some, while others are going to be basking in some mild air. Joining us right now, Kelly Noseworthy. Kelly, tell us where you are and how cold it is.
There is an east wind today, so we could see some snow showers developing in Hamilton on the west side of Lake Ontario today. Toronto, sun cloud with a chance of flurries. Accumulating snow has been down towards Windsor area.
Right, and if you want the mild air, head west. Calgary +5 degrees, and that warm air is just going to push towards Manitoba as we head into the weekend. And our forecast for snow here already moved into the southwest around Windsor and Essex. 3 to 5 centimeters through the day, and then there's that lake enhancement, Chris, which could bring it some whiteout conditions at times.
Potentially some heavy flurries and also some reduced visibility down near the Michigan-Ontario border. Now let's talk about temperatures. This is a temperature map, so where you're seeing the purples is -15 or colder, so we're feeling that in Ottawa and Montreal this morning. This afternoon, well below seasonal. Temperatures only around -10, -12, but at least you'll get some sunshine. And then still hanging into the cold air once again overnight in Northern Ontario, back into the -20s or colder.
And look at Ottawa for the next couple of days. We've got -9 on Thursday, a brief little warm up on Saturday with about a centimeter of snow Saturday, and then on Sunday back to -11, but Winterlude just around the corner, so we need the Rideau Canal to stay frozen for January 30th.
Ottawa Public Health still has the frostbite advisory in place. It'll likely get canceled Friday, Saturday, and then likely reissued next week. Whitehorse, by way of comparison, a lot warmer. You're getting snow today, but the heaviest snow is towards the passes and also over towards the Cassiar Mountains. So you will get more seasonal values into next week, but well above for now.
That's right. Let's head to the city of Winnipeg. Flurries in southern Saskatchewan, but more snow towards the north through Thursday.
The storm track is clearly to the north, so that's going to allow milder air down from the Rockies eastwards in the coming days. So Chinook winds in Calgary and Lethbridge could get quite strong, but that's going to boost your temperatures. You'll get into double digits likely tomorrow, and it's going to be generally mild for the weekend. Calgary right now over our forecast showing a rain-snow mix possible on Saturday. I'm not entirely convinced. Usually downsloping winds, of course, suppress that activity, but look at the milder weather.
Yeah, getting into those yellows, heading into Monday, Calgary, like 9 degrees. Manitoba not getting the huge bump up, but still you'll be hovering around the freezing mark. And the pattern this weekend, the east getting hit with storms. That's right, Kelly. I use it every morning while putting on my makeup. The light therapy helps, as well as the vitamin D supplements every single morning, just to get me through the dark winter months. Now, it'll be dark and cold in the east today as we look here with the jet stream dipping far south towards the west. Some milder temperatures really moving into places like Calgary and Lethbridge. Great Lakes right now in terms of ice coverage. Pretty interesting if we look at current ice coverage compared to last year. So a lot of people remember last year as being really cold. Well, interesting thing is currently we're at 96% ice coverage. Last year was more coverage for Lake Erie, but up towards areas like north of Lake Erie, we're looking at ice coverage being a little bit more intense this year than last year. Now, looking at our snow totals from so far, November 1st to January 19th. Halifax, you are below what you usually get for this time of year, but that's because you've seen mostly some rain moving through. Calgary, however, has received 19 centimeters more than usual from at this point, but there is more snow to go. There is still the winter season left till we head to spring. And more snow heading to northern Canada here into northern Saskatchewan and Manitoba by Thursday. Also this afternoon, I want to give you rain into the city of Edmonton. Warm enough for a little bit of rain. Now today in Ontario, southwest is seeing 3 to 5 centimeters of snow around Windsor and London, but some easterly winds will bring Toronto down towards the Niagara region, a trace amount of snow. So showing us Labrador City, where he couldn't even get out the door because 78 centimeters has fallen in the Wabash, Labrador City area since earlier this week. Wind gusts have also been impressive, but there's another system on the horizon which will impact central Newfoundland tomorrow. Nicole and Jacqueline with you. Jacqueline will be taking over our developing stories with you, Canada, through the day. And we're following the extreme cold settling in, Jacqueline. We're tracking multiple storms and what nearly 80 centimeters of snow looks like.
I know. It's pretty impressive. And Nicole, you were off a few days sick. You feeling better?
I'm feeling a little bit better. Thank you for asking.
Good.
It's the, winter, it's so tough to get rid of these colds, and with cold temperatures,
doesn't help.
It's not fun to even be sick. I was bored.
You're bored?
There's nothing to do when you're sick. No one's around. Everyone's working.
Yeah.
You can just but watch Netflix.
There you go. That's right. Good. Well, some R&R nonetheless. This afternoon, if you're watching Netflix indoors, -4 outside in Regina. I'm feeling like -9, +5 in Calgary. Only gets better every day of the week.
Exactly. Into the weekend, Calgary going to be pushing double digits. In the area, that person couldn't even get outside their door. Some strong winds as well this week. Good news is it has wound down.
Yeah, that is good news. And here's some of those totals. 78 for Wabash, like you mentioned. Goose Bay, 44. So pretty hefty snow amounts. And I think it's Nain, 26. With gusts, though, of almost 100K.
Right.
Speaking of that, we'll have two systems for tracking. The first one won't be the wind one. The second one is going to be a very windy one. Let's talk about this one.
Right. So that one comes through for tomorrow. And then into the weekend, we've got another one setting up. This one probably more impactful than what you're seeing tomorrow.
Yeah.
But speaking of snow in the east, Halifax, not on target at all. This is what you've seen so far and what you usually get. This is what you're off your average, but mostly it's been rain in Nova Scotia.
Oh, so many storms have tracked that way, where they've lifted to the north and we're in that warmer sector. In fact, both storms look like both the one on Thursday into Friday, I think it is, and then Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Both look like they're going to be transitioning to rain and then back to snow again.
So messy for you in Atlantic Canada. Messy today in Ontario, but not as bad as what you're going to see in Atlantic Canada. Windsor already about 5 centimeters from a tweet from Tony today.
Oh, good. Thanks,
and
Tony.
we've got some lake enhancement setting up from Toronto down towards Hamilton, Jacqueline.
Yeah.
So about a trace to 3 centimeters there.
That's right, with that east-northeast wind still open, the lakes still freezing up, but still open.
Exactly.
There we look at the snow through the north. So we have a lot of clippers that are going to stay to the north, 5 to 10 centimeters for Key Lake, Saskatchewan, and up.
Yeah, right. And sunny but cold, -22 this morning. And for the afternoon, you're going to be below average at -11. But as we head into the weekend, a little bump up in temperatures, but then back to -11 on Sunday, Jacqueline.
Yeah, and temperatures feeling like -18s.
We're not called the Great White North for nothing. 80 centimeters of snow in Labrador.
So how to stay warm? Well, you can try these peg ears that people are going hog wild in Winnipeg. Nathan Coleman got an earful in Halifax.
Stay in bed.
Just watch some movies, Netflix or something like that.
Well, with friends, dress warm.
It's easy. Just be positive and think lovely thoughts, and the wind and the cold will go away.
And Kelly Noseworthy got advice from the experts.
But for people who have this sort of winter depression, the light box can make a big, big difference.
Join us 5:30 a.m. Eastern.